We've been viewing the Louis I Bridge from the riverside, but we're eager to see the views from the top. The funicular railway is the easy way up for €5, so we buy the tickets and up we go. I always feel these attractions should feature non-reflective glass, though all I had to do was rotate the polarizing filter on the camera. The top here is the level of the city, and I was immediately impressed by the architecture and the elegance of the trams. Al fresco dining, perfect weather, sunny, warm not hot, and a gentle breeze up here. The elaborate decoration of their houses very impressive. At first glance, I wondered why they called the tram the English cart in Spanish. I realized the Porto tram was advertising a Spanish department store chain that is in fact the biggest in Europe. Up here we can also see part of the Fernandina walls. The ancient city walls, built between the 11th and 15th century and restored in 1920, that are graced by a statue of Arnaldo Gama, a well-known Porto writer. It's easy to see that Porto is a tourist city, and the abundance of tourist facilities is very evident and welcome, enabling visitors to see the sights, which we did on foot. We then strolled over to the bridge. There's no traffic on the upper level of the bridge except the trains and pedestrians, the vehicular traffic being below. The views spectacular. To come up here and enjoy the view is a must-do whilst in Porto. Nathan was busy shooting. This is his shot. People like ants walking down below. The high banks of the river reminiscent of the Norwegian fjords. The views are impressive in that they give a completely different glimpse of the city. Below, the wine boats, the Rabello, which in times past transported kegs of wine from the vineyards to Porto, now converted to tourist boats. The name Rabello means little tail because of the long timber rudders on the stern. In the distance are the warehouses where the port wine was brought to mature. An interesting fact about Porto is that downtown Porto is the highest place in the city. Having said that, this riverfront has to be one of the most beautiful in Europe. The old city wall with its 18 gates clearly visible from up here. What a fascinating sight, and one which everybody wants to shoot. The opposite bank of the river also impressive, allowing the visitor to see the city of Vila Nova de Gaia on the opposite bank, and down which the cable car runs. Our plan is to take a ride on the cable car, getting some different views of the city. Looking back over the bridge, it's an impressive sight. The funicular railway and the old city wall can clearly be seen from here. The entrance to the cable car is at the end of the bridge on the right. We were most impressed by the beauty of the city. Spectacular views with fascinating things to see and a special feel to it. Certainly plenty of things for visitors to enjoy. The Atlantic Ocean is only 3 kilometers down the river. A riverboat ride on a sunny day is a real pleasure and an excellent way to see the sights. Looking back, we can clearly see both the upper and lower bridges. A fascinating design. Then we ride the cable car, Teleférico de Gaia. €5 per head, 5-minute ride down the riverbank. Taking in the views. This is fun. This is different. Great views of Porto from the opposite bank. Interesting things happening on the river below. the teleférico actually descends to the sea level. So when we get out, we're on the riverside. Above us, the cable cars. Before us, the interesting riverside. Ferries cross the river here, so this is an option on how to return. In the meantime, we had a look around.
We've just spent a delightful few hours here on the estuary in Porto, and it really is a delightful place. It's just been fantastic.
Below us in the river, a few thousand catfish. And the usual goings-on. Nate taking it all in. A Rabello complete with wine casks, probably 100 years old. Before us could be a scene from yesteryear. Majestic buildings looking out over the river. Meanwhile, the local youth do what local youth do.
€3 and it's the quickest way across the river.
So we boarded the ferry to cross the Douro. One more angle on the bridge. The train passing over. And we're ready for the walk back up to the city. Through some historic streets. Probably changed much since 1520. We then hopped back on the bus to the ship, moored about 10 minutes away. and off we sail to our next destination. The legendary Lisbon, capital city of Portugal, awaits us. So we take a shower and get ready for dinner as the sun sets on another memorable day.